the ability to have a healthy discourse with the regulatory bodies on this topic?
I mean, there's no question that regulators pay disproportionate amount of attention to that which generates press. This is just an objective fact. And Tesla generates a lot of press. So in the United States, there's, I think, almost 40,000 automotive deaths per year. But if there are 4 in Tesla, they'll probably receive 1,000 times more press than anyone else.
So the psychology of that is actually fascinating. I don't think we'll have enough time to talk about that, but I have to talk to you about the human side of things. So myself and our team at MIT recently released a paper on functional vigilance of drivers while using autopilot. This is work we've been doing since autopilot was first released publicly over 3 years ago, collecting video of driver faces and driver body. So I saw that you tweeted a quote from the abstract, so I can at least guess that you've glanced at it.
Yeah, I read it.
Can I talk you through what we found?
Sure.
Okay. So it appears that in the data that we've collected, that drivers are maintaining functional vigilance such that we're looking at 18,000 disengagements from autopilot, 18,900, and annotating, were they able to take over control in a timely manner? So they were there, present, looking at the road to take over control. Okay. So this goes against what many would predict from the body of literature on vigilance with automation. Now the question is, do you think these results hold across the broader population? So ours is just a small subset. Do you think one of the criticism is that there's a small minority of drivers that may be highly responsible where their vigilance decrement would increase with autopilot use?
I think this is all really going to be swept. I mean, the system's improving so much, so fast, that this is going to be a moot point very soon. Where vigilance is, like, if something's many times safer than a person, then adding a person does the effect on safety is limited, and in fact, it could be negative.
That's really interesting. So the fact that a human may, some percent of the population may exhibit a vigilance decrement will not affect the overall statistics numbers of safety.
No, in fact, I think it will become very, very quickly, maybe even towards the end of this year, but I'd be shocked if it's not next year at the latest, that having a human intervene will decrease safety. Decrease. It's like, imagine if you're in an elevator. Now, it used to be that there were elevator operators, and you couldn't go in an elevator by yourself and work the lever to move between floors. And now nobody wants an elevator operator because the automated elevator that stops at the floors is much safer than the elevator operator. And in fact, it would be quite dangerous to have someone with a lever that can move the elevator between floors.
So that's a really powerful statement and really interesting one. But I also have to ask, from a user experience and from a safety perspective, one of the passions for me algorithmically is camera-based detection of just sensing the human, but detecting what the driver is looking at, cognitive load, body pose. On the computer vision side, that's a fascinating problem. But and there's many in industry who believe you have to have camera-based driver monitoring. Do you think there could be benefit gained from driver monitoring?
If you have a system that's at or below human level reliability, then driver monitoring makes sense. But if your system is dramatically better, more reliable than a human, then driver monitoring does not help much. And like I said, you just like you wouldn't want someone you wouldn't want someone in the elevator. If you're in an elevator, do you really want someone with a big lever? Some random person operating an elevator between floors? I wouldn't trust that. I would rather have the buttons. Okay.
You're optimistic about the pace of improvement of the system. From what you've seen with the full self-driving car, computer.
The rate of improvement is exponential.